This presentation goes over Team 1's proposal for the HRI Arabic growth strategy. First, we'll be covering reporting format. Project deliverables. The consultant proposes to provide the following deliverables to the team over the course of the project. Final surveys in English and translated into applicable languages, final interviews in English and translated into applicable languages, final surveys, interviews of focus groups, structured survey results, both in English and translated into applicable survey languages, detailed fieldwork report by country, indicating the number of completed interviews for country, focus groups, fieldwork dates, survey methodologies, respondent characteristics, including positions, regions, cities, and sectors, and all other fields that may be required by the project team, individual data files for each country surveyed, and dedicated time to review any draft media releases and to help with media outreach and comment, and a joint press release during the project year to be approved by the team. Project issues. First, security. Security concerns for interviews and researchers. To hire security, hire expert logistics teams in the area to visit zones before surveying, and this would also increase the budget. Ethical considerations, not to impose Western views, considered in the questionnaires, and assure neutrality through focus groups. And language and cultural differences, translate the questionnaire and test it. Arabic language is not the same throughout all Arabic countries, so because there are minor differences, we need to accommodate that, and also focus groups will be used to solve the problem. For the analytic framework, first an introduction. These slides establish the analytic framework for investigating cultural norms, attitudes, and value systems as they relate to the Middle East, North Africa youth, and human rights. Cultural normative values will be defined as the beliefs and values derived from culture that are shared by the majority of people in a particular society according to interviewed members of that population. Attitudes will be measured in relation to human rights. First, as a perception of human rights. Second, the importance of human rights. And third, we'll be measuring the image that interviewees have of Human Rights International. And last, value systems will be broken down and analyzed into three subcategories. First, social values, second, political values, and third, religious values. And variable relationships, this is a map of the relationships of variables. Affecting cultural norms are attitudes and values, and each of those are broken down with attitudes having, as mentioned before, perception of human rights, importance of human rights, and HRI's image, and values being made up of political, religious, and social values. Three variables that affect attitudes might be gender, age, and education, and three variables that we anticipate would affect values are political affiliation, socioeconomic status, and religious affiliation. Framework components. There's data preparation, descriptive statistics, and inferential statistics. Data preparation will be a 6-step process. Step 1 will be to audio record interviews. Audio recording will be conducted during face-to-face interviews. Step 2 will be to transcribe interviews. Recordings will be transcribed word for word, first in the original language to ensure accuracy. Step 3 would be to translate interviews. Interviews will be translated from Arabic or other local languages into English. The original Arabic translations will also be kept on record, though, and available upon request. Step 4 is to develop a codebook containing the information on data collection methods, respondents, variable formats, and variable descriptions. Step 5 is to code our interview data using the codebook. And step 6 is to develop database structure, including long-term 5 to 7 year storage for maintaining original data samples for record. For descriptive statistical analysis, our face-to-face interviews will be mostly structured with a few open-ended questions towards the end. For our open-ended questions, we'll be coding them and analyzing them with descriptive analysis. These questions will be described with univariate statistical analysis, searching for common major characteristics in responses and measuring how often those responses occur. Distribution characteristics will be analyzed across rights categories to determine what % of the survey respondents rank each category as highly important, and frequency distribution tables will be used to illustrate univariate findings. This is just an example. Table 1 shows the frequency distribution of answers containing each category of rights. And again, this is just an example. It's not used on any sample respondent information. But here we see rights categories and a percentage of respondents that had those or mentioned those rights categories in their open-ended questions. There's individual rights, social rights, religious rights, environmental rights, and sexual and gender rights, which are the categories that we've isolated previously. And for inferential statistical analysis, we'll do explorative data mining using cluster analysis. Data will be organized using algorithms and clusters based on similarities to other data results. As part of the project's knowledge discovery, cluster analysis parameters will be modified as needed to most accurately represent data relationships. And for perceptual mapping, this will also be used to visually represent the magnitude of importance of human rights issues across various rights categories below as previously defined: individual rights, social and economic rights, cultural rights, environmental rights, and sexual and gender rights. And moving on to the budget component of the project, here is a table of some preliminaries. Some bulleted points here to note are that this information assumes a confidence level of 95%, a confidence interval of plus or minus 3%, and that our population is youth population 15 to 24 in the 10 countries where HRI will limit its work. And this is from the United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs Division. This table was created in 2011 and was used to base our sample size on. And for the actual budget, we have structured interviews with an individual cost of $20 a piece. We'll be doing 1,067 interviews, and that would be a total cost of $21,340. Our focus groups will be 6 to 8 people per group, totaling $5,500 for individual costs. There will be 2 groups, which will give us an $11,000 cost to the overall budget. Translation costs we have at 25 cents per word. We'll have 1 questionnaire, 1 language, which would be Arabic, and it's 1,000 words. Total cost $250 for translating interviews. And data collection, for data collection, which also includes security, we have an approximate budget cost of $40,000, and for survey design, analysis, and reporting, an approximate budget cost of $20,000. For the timeline for the project, we will manifest willingness to carry the study by the 26th of October, deliver results to internal grants committees by early December. We need some time before then to review it. A final report should therefore be with us by the last week of November. These are the deliverables that were requested by HRI. Our suggested dates for our team are April, logistics, travel, hiring, interviewers, and research staff and security. May, preparation, surveying, questionnaire, design, and translations. June, we'll do our focus groups and adjust research designs. The end of June, we'll present qualitative preliminary results. July 28th to the 30th, we'll do our staff training. August 13th, traveling and logistics. August 14th to the 20th, conduct interviews. August 19th to the 31st, do coding and build and check our database. September, we'll be analyzing data, writing preliminary papers to discuss with our analysts. October, run final tests and obtain definite conclusions. November, produce deliverables and final report. And by December 1st, submit the final report to the grants committee. And that concludes this week's discussion of our milestones for Team 1 for the HRI initiative.